behind you here. Still out there. Outside, barely. Outside.
Whoa, Kozlowski.
Well, look more. That's Matt Kenseth.
And now, your host for NASCAR 2, Evan Jones.
What's up, you guys? NASCAR EJ coming to you once again from the NASCAR Tube. And man, all I gotta say is Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch once again wins the 4th race out of 5 races, and 3 of those have been in a row. This is just amazing to me by how well he's holding on the track. But we're gonna talk about Kyle Busch. We're gonna talk a lot about the Brickyard 400. We're gonna talk about penalties put down and some changes this week. We actually get to talk a little more about changes this week since we're a day later broadcasting. But at the same time, the reason we don't... Okay, if you notice, there is no green screen behind me right now. And that's because I ran into an issue with it. And we're going to have to revise it and try to figure it out. So maybe by next week, maybe by next week, maybe in 2 weeks. You never know. But hopefully we get that coming up. And there's been some family... well, not a family, but I had a dear friend that died this past week. So we're dealing with that, and also just a lot of stuff going on this week in the world of NASCAR as well. I mean, we got a lot of news to talk about. But going on to the Brickyard 400, Brickyard was a good race. Had a lot of cautions in it, surprisingly. Usually I wouldn't have thought. This new rules package is working. It worked at Indy as well. It looked funny seeing those cars going around the track, and the spoilers are huge up on the backside. They are massive. But apparently it works. The drivers like it for the most part. Well, the majority of the drivers like it. But either way, it's a good package, and I like it. They're passing better. Seems like we've had more cautions since the new packages come out, and that just means more racing side by side. I mean, it's so much less downforce. It's amazing. And I like what Carl Edwards said about that. He said, I take out the downforce completely. And the way it sounded like to me is he thinks we should just take a stock car out of a showroom and just race it like the good old days. And I don't halfway disagree with that. Race it like the old IROC series used to be. But anyway, that's my opinion. But we're going to get on back to Kyle Busch here. Kyle Busch. This team has gotten back on top in a matter of 9 races. 9 races. And I mean, 9 races here, and he's won 4 already. 4, and then 4 out of the last 5. So, I mean, you're talking, this guy is really booking. He is wanting to get into this chase. He's only 23 points back. Most likely, 99% will say that he will get into the chase. Right now, Clint Boyer is on that bubble to get off. But that could change within a week. So we really don't know exactly who's going to be on the bubble. But there's 10 spots taken right now. And with Kyle Busch coming in, that's going to make it 11 into the chase standings. You take 11... and 16, that leaves you 5 spots open. So there's going to be 5 spots probably guaranteed to get into the chase without a win, unless you have a new winner arise in the next 6 races. And that's the regular season cutoff after Richmond. So either way, I think you're going to have to win to assure your spot in the chase. There's no doubt. I mean, 5 spots and back to 52 spots in a chase in the point system. I mean, that's a good bit of space. And 43 drivers on the field every week. So, and really, only 5 spots of that. And I'm scared for Jeff Gordon. I'm really scared for Jeff Gordon. And I was looking at this race, the Brickyard, to be one of maybe his way of coming back and getting that win to get into the chase. But I just don't see where Hendrick completely, all of Hendrick Motorsports are falling back right now, and don't know why. Dale Jr. is actually running okay, really the only car that's running okay, and Jimmy Johnson, of course, usually runs typically pretty well, but in the last few weeks he hasn't run that great. So we don't know what's going on. But going back to, excuse me guys, it's been a long week. I'm tired, but I'm going and looking at Kyle Busch and seeing Adam Stevens come in as a rookie crew chief in the Sprint Cup Series. This guy he don't look like a rookie. He does not look like a rookie, and the fact that they're going out and winning races within, you got to remember, Kyle didn't even step into a car since Speed Weeks. The last race car he was in, coming back when he came back at Charlotte, the last race car he was in was in that Xfinity car when he wrecked at Daytona. That was the last car he was in. And I don't think Kyle Busch can really afford a DNF right now. I think if he had one, I think he could overcome it. But it's just, oh my goodness, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm trying here. But as determined as he is to get into this chase, I just don't see why in the world. It would be a heartbreaker at this point to win 4 races in a season and not make it to the chase and not being able to run for a championship. That would be such a heartbreaker for all of his fans, for the whole team, because they won 4 races and you've got guys like Martin Truex Jr. and Carl Edwards that are probably going to go into the chase with just 1 win. I don't hold that against me, but most likely, or who knows, they might get another win. But they're going in with 1 win. Let's just say they do. But Kyle Busch has 4 wins, and he don't even make it. He don't even get a chance. And they're having up and down weeks, and all the Hendrick drivers are having up and down weeks. And Jeff Gordon had a good week. Y'all gotta forgive me about this. It's gonna be a terrible video this week. I keep you honest. But there's, Jeff Gordon had a good week in weeks. But anyway, talking about the deal, we've had 2 penalties released this week. We've had, basically it was on the number 98 team, and that's what we're just going to talk about, that car. But they actually had some weights out of the car going out into practice, and basically I think they're fined like $25,000, and the crew chiefs suspended for the rest of the season, and the whole team's put on like probation at the end of the year or something like that. But the way I look at that, they're a no-known team. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head who the driver is of that car. Could not. So I'm not really worried about it. Okay? Not worried about it. Looking at Michael Waltrip Racing for a second. And what happened was the co-owner of Michael Waltrip Racing has actually bought out Felix Sabates, can say his name right, ownership of Chip Ganassi Racing. And what we're noticing is probably what's going to happen here is Clint Boyer, or at least the 15 car, the number 15 5-hour energy car, is going to move over to Chip Ganassi Racing. I don't disagree with this decision if that happens. We don't know if that's exactly going to happen or not, but most likely the number 15 car will move over to Chip Ganassi Racing. And I don't think that's a bad move if they take Clint Boyer with them. Clint Boyer needs a fresh start. Ever since the Spingate deal at Richmond a couple years ago, when it going into the chase, 2013, ever since that whole deal when he intentionally spun himself out to help a driver get into the chase, ever since that happened, That team has not been right since. And it's not that, I mean, they need help. It's just that whole team, and it seemed like everybody suffered but the driver that actually made a mistake, you know. But at the same time, I think this will be a good, if that does happen, it would be a great fresh start for Clint Bowyer. And look who Chip Ganassi Racing is paired with. They have Chevrolet, which Clint Bowyer's driven for Chevrolet, minus the manufacturer. Don't worry about the manufacturer. I'm not worried about the manufacturer. That would be from Toyota to Chevrolet, but I'm not worried about that. But they're allianced with Richard Childress Racing. And if you don't recall, that's where Clint Bowyer got his start. He's been at Richard Childress Racing. So that would be a good feel, I believe. Although the cars have changed, but minus all that, I do feel that Clint Bowyer would feel more at home there rather than Michael Waltrip Racing. Now that's up to him, but I actually think that would be a good move for him. Seeing all these driver changes in the last few years, how well they performed, I don't disagree with that decision if that does happen. But going at the Brickyard, what a race. Well, we had like 2 attempts at a green white checkered, I believe, and the race between Joey Logano and Kyle Busch was unreal. That's good racing. And we saw that back at Kentucky between the same 2 drivers. The same 2 drivers, we saw that. And that was nothing but good racing. And it's this new package, I think, that's making that possible. And that's awesome. I love it. I love the racing. I love the passing. Keep this package, NASCAR. I hope you see this, because this is something that I'm really drilling on. This package with less downforce. Forget the speed. I'd rather see good racing with slower speeds than really high speeds in a straight line. Okay? And I think anybody else would say that. I can't tell by the slower. I can't tell by watching on the track if a car by itself is going around the track. I can't tell if it's going 5 miles per hour slower. Okay? I can't tell that. And they're really not going any slower. It's just this rules package into the corner. It's all in the corners. It's not on the straights. It's on the corners. And coming out of the corner, I mean, you could get up under, like at a track like Kentucky or probably even Darlington or Chicago or Vegas. You can get up under their left rear corner and just get the air on them, or maybe even bump them a little bit, and it knocks them all out of loose. That's racing right there. That is racing. Bumping's grinding, right? That's the old term, bumping's grinding. Or rubbing's racing. That's another one. That's probably the one I should have said. But I just feel like this week has been a good week in NASCAR. I just feel like that the week has become what the week should have been. And the Brickyard 400 was a good race this week. Kyle Busch dominated the weekend. And I know a lot of people are going to be saying, why are you talking about Kyle Busch so much? Let's talk about somebody else besides Kyle Busch. Well, you know what? He's the one performing. And quite frankly, I don't see any other guys out there other than the other Joe Gibbs cars. Other than the other Joe Gibbs drivers and probably the 2 Penske drivers are the only ones performing out on that track right now. And maybe Furniture Row Racing with Martin Truex Jr. Cole Prime. Maybe. But even they've fallen off. Ever since their win at Pocono, it seems like they've really just kind of fell to the bottom. Excuse me. But I do feel like that Kyle Busch will make the chase. I think he will win again before the chase gets here. Within 6 races. You got to look at Watkins Glen coming up. He's won there before. You've got to look at Bristol, of course. Bristol, way of course for Kyle Busch. And he didn't get to race there earlier in the year. So I feel like that Kyle Busch will win at Bristol. Has a possibility of winning at Watkins Glen. Stewart Haas Racing. Tony Stewart, I think, has the best chance to win at Watkins Glen. Both years, the last 2 years, 2013 and 2014, that week has been terrible on him. That week. Back at Watkins Glen, he's missed the last 2 races at Watkins Glen. And I know, and he's won there a few times, and I think he's determined to go back and make that a week of success. I mean, the first week he was there back in 2013, he broke his leg. And then last year, the boy gets killed on the track. I think that, and then the whole deal with the lawsuit and everything to the end of the year, it was a total mess last year. And I'm seeing where he's not right. He's really not right. And it's a big mess right now. It's a big mess right now. And to look back at, and then he came back at Labor Day last year at Atlanta. So maybe a little early. But either way, I know he's got to be determined to get in that car and win. So I hope that Tony Stewart is not finished. But he'd be, like I said last week with Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon's in the big panic stage right now. And they're on my panic meter. But so is Tony Stewart. If not more than Jeff Gordon. To get into this chase. I just don't see it happening. Maybe for Jeff Gordon, but I don't think I see it happening for Tony Stewart. Excuse me. But either way, guys, we're gonna move on to next week. We're going back to Pocono. And I'm really liking these Toyotas right now. The Joe Gibbs Racing. Really like them. I think any of these Joe Gibbs cars has a shot to win this race. I don't think a Chevrolet is going to win. I just don't think it's going to happen. They're really slacking right now. At least it's not. I don't think it's going to be a Hendrick car. But anything can happen. But I just don't see anything happening but other than a Joe Gibbs car right now. They're running really, really well. I know this video is a little longer than normal. That actually makes it harder for me because that's more to edit. But also, it's got to upload, so that takes a while too. So, I'm recording this on Thursday night. It's 6:45 right now. So, anyway, guys, congratulations to Kyle Busch and the whole 18 team on winning their 4th race in 5 races. And I'm just still floored about it, and I'm shocked. I think we're all shocked about it. But it's not over yet, and we've got another week to go. We've got 6 more weeks to go, and he's got 23 points to make up. Can he do it? It's the question. I think he can. I know he can, but I don't think they can afford a DNF. But going on to Pinocchio. Oh man, I need some help, y'all. Like I said, I'm tired. Pocono. Pinocchio. So, going there this week. And we're going to see how that works. So, don't forget to like the video, share the video, favorite the video, like this video. I think I already said that, whatever. Subscribe to the channel. There we go. So subscribe to the YouTube channel at NASCAR Tube. You can follow my links to Twitter down here, right here. And you can follow me on. You can like the page on Facebook. So either way, guys, this was a choppy. This was a really bad broadcast. I had to throw this up at the last minute because I'm running out of time. I know it's Thursday and they're probably unloading trucks right now at Pocono. So either way, guys, don't forget to have a nice day.